important it is, when to do it, how much you do it, and then also how human behavior works in the context of follow-up, because this is very important, especially for coaches out there, or if you're doing some sort of workshops or certification or training. Human behavior is very interesting when it comes to people buying. So first thing that I wanted to talk about when it comes to follow-up that's very important is, number one, do it.
You've got to do it.
You got to do it.
Do you guys realize, and for those of you that don't realize this, do you realize the gift, the gold, the money?
The money.
The money. The money is in the follow-up, folks. I can't tell you how many times that people did business with us. People did business with me. People bought my service.
Or they wanted us to do business.
They bought our product because they said, you kept following up. Yep. It is so easy to do, yet it is so easy not to do.
It's incredibly interesting how, and I was talking about this on a webinar I was doing last night, and I was talking about how people spend time, money, and energy going to these events to network, and then they don't follow up. Like, what's the point if you're not going to call somebody? If you're going to get all that stuff and you're going to put it in your CRM and you make a commitment to yourself, but then you don't make the call, it's pointless.
There is there's the rule around sales, and I can't remember exactly what it is. It's a whole lit series of it. I'll post it in the comments, but it's so funny how we know, because when we go to an event, if we get 10 business cards or 15 people we meet and we get their numbers and business cards, we know there's like less than a 15% chance that one of them is going to call us back. That's how bad it is. And so we make our effort to call everybody. I mean, that's like,
that's why I don't even use business cards. I will take people's business cards. I know it's a waste of, most people just put it in their drawer and then,
resources.
Yeah. And then they never do anything about it. So that's why I just get proactive when I'm at networking, and I put their number in my phone. So I make sure that I have their cell phone number, because if you're trying to follow up a number that's a business line, it's not going to be as easy. So that's another tip, is make sure that when you are connecting with people, that you're getting their most best contact, which is their cell phone number. That way you can text them. You also want to get their email address too, so you can blast them on all platforms.
And if you're just jumping on or you're watching the replay, the gift is in the follow-up.
It is.
So many people miss how important following up. You know, if you put a bid or a proposal out there, or you make a great connection, follow up. I mean, we like to say within 24 to 48 hours, a follow-up call is so necessary. Not a text, not an email.
Well, you can do both.
Follow-up call.
I do that when I do some networking. I shoot them over a text immediately, so they have my number in their phone, and then I send them a thank you.
But a follow-up call is so much more personable.
Yes.
Right.
And then I make sure I call within 48 hours. And then depending upon your workload, like how many people you're already having your pipeline of, sales calls you're doing, you may want to follow up the following week, or maybe you want to follow up, if it's a hot lead, you want to follow up in a couple of days, 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, especially depending upon if you have an event or you have something that is urgent. So you want to follow up many, many times, because here's the thing. People get in their pattern, their behavior, life happens, chaos happens, and they totally forget about these conversations that you had. Even if you had a great connection with somebody, you cannot rely on them to call you.
So let's talk about some pain. We see people walking around this pain, and here's the biggest pain. They go, I don't want to bother people. One of the biggest things, one of the biggest limiting false beliefs, they say, I don't want to bother another individual, so I choose not to follow up. And then we wonder why we're not making sales, or wonder why we're not making great connections, right? We're not building the following, or getting out there more.
Yeah. Or the person, when they're following up because they're afraid of bothering somebody, or they're afraid of the rejection, or they're afraid that the person doesn't want to talk to them, or they're afraid to even make the call because they themselves have a block around sales, and they're projecting that out into the call, and then it makes you feel incongruent about making the call. So this is what happens. So you have this list of people that you're going to follow up, and you get on the phone, you're like, don't pick up, don't pick up, don't pick up.
Oh God, I hope they don't answer.
I hope they don't answer.
If they answer,
go to voicemail, go to voicemail, go to voicemail.
If they answer, I might actually have to
talk to them.
I might have to say something. I might have to learn how to communicate.
Do you know how many people don't listen to their messages?
I know you don't.
Shut up. I listen to them. I'm getting better about that. Because when I
listen to them and I translate them for her.
When I see people call, then I immediately call them back. I usually don't go through the message. I just think it's
Janae,
faster to. Hey, Christina. I think it's faster just to pick up the phone and call them back. I prefer to do that. I think it's more efficient. Though there's a lot of people that don't listen to them at all. And that was one of those people for a very long time. I ran from messages. So the problem is if you're projecting into the call when you're doing the follow-up, oh, I hope it goes to an answering machine, then you may not be doing the most effective follow-up because a lot of people don't check that.
Or you're in your head, which a lot of people are, and they're like, I don't know what to say. I don't know if I'm going to say the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if I have my script. You know what? I'm going to get ready, which I talked about this a few days ago. Is I've got to write out my script. I've got to get my main bullet points. Listen, the best way to come up with the objections around following up and making the sales call is to find out what those objections are for you and your clients and your prospects. And the only way you're going to learn that is if you follow up
and get your foot in the door.
That's the best
way.
And
one of the selling theories that we talked about before, when you're following up and people say, I'm busy. Well, there's a good way. Watch that video because there's a way to get your foot in the door to where then you can start having a conversation. Because a lot of people are busy.
So everybody's busy. And so we get that a lot when we follow up with someone. They'll be like, oh, I'm busy. Oh, I'm working. I'm at work.
So then I'm like, okay, so let's schedule a time. Let's get it on our calendars right now, real quick. Let's get it on our calendars so we can go ahead and, have a time to where we can chat because we had a great conversation. I would love to connect with you and do it high energy, and people will whip out their calendars if you're persistent about it. Unless it truly is something where they're like in the middle, like you interrupted their dinner, which by the way, that's a boundary for them. They probably shouldn't be answering the phone at dinner.
Right.
But anyways, that's another story. Human behavior is interesting.
You might be talking to a different part of that behavior.
Yeah, totally.
So that's a big thing about that though, is, what was I going to say? Following up. So the big part of following up is a lot of people just don't do it, right? They're about to make the phone call, but they're in their head and they're thinking about all the things that the client might say or how they're going to respond, and they're not able to build rapport. When someone says, oh, I'm busy or I'm at work, I say, great, I'm at work too. I'm working also. I'm also busy. So glad now we can get past that.
So Jenna and Christina, if anybody else is on if they're not, but what are some things that you maybe project into the follow-up? Maybe it's a fear, or maybe it's
I'd love to know that.
Yeah, or the things where you get blocked, where people are saying that they're busy, they're getting you put off.
What prevents us from making follow-up calls? First of all, like when we're about to make follow-up calls, what prevents us? Just put that down in the comments. If you're watching this on the replay, add to it. What is preventing you from following up by phone, email, or text? What's keeping you? Carla.
Hey, Carla.
What's going on?
Welcome. So what is preventing you from follow-up? And then what are some hangups that happen when you're doing the follow-up process? So I say follow-up as many, many times until you get them to literally say, hey, I'm not interested. Or you get them to say, hey, this is not going to be the right timing. So then you want to ask, when is the right timing? I'm still following up with people that said that they were interested in the training, and I haven't gotten a hard no for the last 2 years. And you never know. You never know. Like I actually got a gal in the last training that I had been following up with for 1.5 years, and she just enrolled. So you never know. And that's what I wanted to say about the human evolution of behavior. When people are going through life, they go through different stages. And if they have a problem, especially if you're selling personal growth and development or coaching or anything that has to do with human performance and transformation, that if they don't solve it, if they don't commit to themselves to change, there's going to be unconscious circumstances that happen in their life that will make them go into rock bottom. And if you continue to follow up with them, if you're top of the mind and you catch them when they're at that right time, right place, and they're willing to do something about it, which usually is rock bottom for most people, then you will get the sale and you will help change their life. Because most people are away from motivated.
Absolutely.
Most people need pain to move on stuff. And this is what we talk about in the 3-day business training. It's like people are highly away from motivated. They don't buy into something.
They buy their way out of something, out of some kind of pain, right? Or some kind of problem. So Carla, you said, I think that's because I tell myself that people are too busy to respond to me or even read my messages. Totally, absolutely. It's probably the number one is that, that I don't want to bother people or that they're too busy. I don't want to bug them.
Mm-mm.
All that language comes out. We've had so many people tell us this, and it's like, hey, bug or be bugged, and that's really what the gift, I'm going to repeat this again, the gift and the gold comes from following up. We can create better relationships. We can build long-term rapport. We're not trying to just make a sale this week. We are, and we're trying to make a long-term commitment of relationships with clients. And the best way to do that is follow up, follow up, follow up. I keep calling and then I say, man, I just want to make sure you're still alive. Are you still alive? I hope you're out there.
Yeah.
And they go, oh, I'm so sorry I haven't called you back. Then they feel guilty because they're not following up as well.
Most people, I think it's about 95% of the people that we've enrolled in our training or coaching programs, usually they don't call us back. We call them and then we get them on the phone and then we create a conversation. I mean, there are some people that, proactively go, especially for our high performance coaching, we don't chase people for that. But when it comes to most products or service, you are going to be proactively going after them and making a window of opportunity for you to talk to them, because most people are completely unconscious and they don't know what they don't know, and they're not ready until they feel the pain enough. And so it's your responsibility to do whatever it takes to then get them committed to themselves, committed to enrolling into their possibility before they have to go to rock bottom.
It's a miniature thing of the same way we set goals, right? We take massive action. It's the exact same thing. Success doesn't wait around. We have to go to success. We have to create success. And so by following up, that's a tiny little activity that we can do incrementally every single day with 5, 25, or 50 people that creates a massive amount of success at the end of the month. So many people don't follow up from a networking event, or maybe even from an email lead, or even from a text message lead or a Facebook message, whatever it is. And the follow-up, that is where you're going to create consistent revenue, not maybe this week and maybe not even this month, but you will create it next month, next quarter, and the following quarters to come. And that's where so many people miss that. It takes some time to build that up. But if we don't start now, we're not going to finish later.
Yeah, we're so afraid to bother people in this day and age because we're taught to be polite and a good person and like always think about other people's feelings. But again, if it's something they truly do need and they see the value in it, it literally is your responsibility, because life is happening. People are so bombarded with distractions all the time with this technology that we live, this day and age that we live in, and they forget about it. So it is your job to literally be tapping at their door all the time. Hey, remember you said that you really need this.
I'm still here.
Yeah.
I'm still here. It's obscurity. Yeah. It's getting noticed. It's getting attention.
It's not about you. It's about them. It's about them solving the problem that they originally wanted to solve in the first place. And if they change their mind, then bumping up against them as much as you possibly can to help them make a decision to say, hey, I don't really need this anymore. Because a lot of people, they don't like to say what they mean and mean what they say because they don't want to hurt your feelings as a salesperson. So it's an area of spiritual growth for them too, by forcing them or putting them in a situation where they have to say, hey, this doesn't work for me. No, thank you. Actually, you're helping them and assisting them and actually growing up and putting down boundaries and speaking up for what they want.
It's so important to offer value.
Yeah.
All I was going to say is if we as salespeople, as coaches, as entrepreneurs, especially entrepreneurs and business owners, if we don't let that go, right? The belief that, we're bothering someone or we're bugging them. The only reason why we'd be bugging someone is if we weren't bringing value to their life, right? So first we have to care. Second, we've got to bring value. If you bring value and you care about your customers and your prospects, then who cares? Bug them. Because you're going to bring them more value. You might have to just wake them up a little bit from the fog that they're in. We all go through it. We get a little unconscious in our business, right? And then we realize, I actually really do need that. And what's funny about personal growth and development, what we think we need to go after, make money, make more sales, what we actually need is actually to work on ourselves first. And then the making money and making sales comes next.
And what better way to do that than getting yourself into a powerful state and connecting with people on the phone and doing something that you normally would avoid. So, I mean, the thing is that if you want to be successful, there's going to be times where you do step on people's boundaries, that you do piss people off. There's going to be times where you do bother people, but that's okay. That's part of business. And for you to be able to handle that in the moment makes you more empowered and stronger as an individual. And to truly build your business, you are going to step on people's toes, and that's okay. And it's you want to consider other people and their boundaries, at the same time be relentless in your pursuit of what you believe in and the work that you do and the help that you want to give back and serve to people. And sometimes that requires you pestering people.
And if you think you're following up too much, the truth is, it usually takes somewhere between 6, 8, I've even heard 10 times, 10 touch points, between 8 to 10 touch points to follow up with someone before they actually do business with you. And because of social media and the tech world that we're living in and fast pace, I mean, that could easily be 15, 16 touch points, because there's so much, confusion and unclear brand messaging going on, right? We're bombarded with messages and branding and products and services. So the more clear we get on that, the more touch points we make. We have follow-up campaigns that are like nothing less than probably 8 to 10 touch points.
Yeah.
Whether that's a text message, that's an email, drip, a phone call task.
Also, if you call the person more than 10 times and they haven't called you back and they're not answering the phone, one of the strategies that you can do is call them and leave a message and say, hey, are you okay? I'm starting to worry about you. And that's a really good way to get people to call you back, because you are concerned about them.
Yeah.
Like, who doesn't answer the phone after 10 times?
Because again, if you offer value,
in
your product or service, you are concerned, and it's like, hey, I can really help you, because chances are what you're going through, I might have a solution for you.
Cool. So Carla right here said,
I've done the same thing with projects at my job. I don't follow up as much as I should from the designers, because I know they have other projects. So it does feel like I'm bothering, even though they are projects they were hired for. So the same follow-up thought is in multiple areas of my life. That's true.
Good.
It's cool.
So stop the pattern in one area. So my suggestion is figure out one thing that you're not following up because you don't want to bother people, and immediately after this call to take action on that.
Make 5 follow-up calls.
Yeah, do it. And go after somebody and be relentless in your follow-up.
So if you're just jumping on, we're talking about mastering the follow-up, and the way we do that is by taking action.
Yeah.
So many people we've coached and we talked to about, when it comes to sales, they lack the follow-up and they're afraid to bother people. Yeah. Fear of, I'm bugging them, fear of they're going to take some rejection, or they're going to say no, or whatever it is. And so we talk about this because we go to networking events, we follow up with people, and it's so funny how there's so few people that actually call us back. You actually have to take action. We have to follow up and call people back. And that's, I think it's
as you grow your business, you're going to get to the point where you stop caring about what other people think. And you truly are in the place to serve people. If you're coming from a place of service and wanting truly to help people, and you're willing to do whatever it takes, you will grow your business. If you're not willing to bother people, if you're not willing to, sometimes step on their toes, if you're not willing to be persistent
and get attention, get the attention, obscurity, grab it. You need it, because that's the thing. It's what it comes down to, and it comes down to sales.
And again, it's your
letting
responsibility.
Go of this fear of what people think. Like, I will call somebody 8 times. I could care less what that makes me look like, because I'm that confident.
And the reframe is, there's a lot of times where we're like, wow, you call a lot. Yes, because we're persistent and we believe in you, and we believe in your capability, and we believe how we can help you.
But that's only if you believe that. If you believe that you are confident, and you have confidence in your service, you have confidence in your skill set, you have confidence in the value that you can bring to your prospects. That is it right there. If you don't have that confidence, then you're going to feel like you're bugging someone.
We have a training that can help you with that.
So if you're watching this, we're just talking about mastering the follow-up, and how important that is, because that is where the gift is. That is where the gold lies, just a few inches below the ground when you call 5, 6, 10 times. If you know you have a prospect that qualifies within, obviously, your niche or your qualifications, follow up, do whatever it takes to take action to get them to say yes.
Carla said, I'll do it. Yay. Get it, girl. And
we come bearing gifts. Glad, I love it.
Fuck that. We comparing gifts. I love it.
Do you want a gift?
Colette does it. I love how you just don't give a shit. And like, honestly, you got to get to the point where, I mean, and she gives a shit about like,
absolutely
stuff that's important.
Loves and cares about her clients.
But she doesn't, I mean, and I'm right there with you, sisters. Like, I don't care about, I don't care to oblige people's behaviors that aren't serving them.
You're not gonna enable their behavior. You're gonna hold them accountable. It's like, listen, I'm not gonna track you down. If you don't want this, you don't want it. And that's the other thing. That's actually a good point. Is don't sell no's, because there's a lot of people out there selling no's. They're selling people that aren't qualified, or they're not a good prospect. And you move right on and get to somebody who's gonna say yes. So a no is infinitely better, by the way, than a maybe. And we talk about that in our training.
And also just to be taking feedback from people that are actually going out there and doing it with their life, that are like literally what I remember Brene Brown, she's like, I take feedback only from people that are in the arena of being courageous, that are going out there, going after their dreams, taking massive action, doing their thing, versus people that would get upset for you bothering them by following up. Most likely they're in effect and they don't follow up in their life, and they're projecting onto the conversation. Because I know when people follow up with me, I'm like, woohoo, let's have a conversation. Just like people that come to our house that are selling something, we're super excited to talk to them too and listen to their sales process, because we value sales and we value people that are selling. So also take that into consideration. If somebody
you
goes
don't
off
have people
on
buying, are you a buyer?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it's a projection.
It's definitely a projection. If you're, I mean,
and stop taking it personally.
So if you're just jumping on, or you've been watching this, we're basically talking about mastering the follow-up and how important it is to follow up, and how so few people do. And the people that do, you're going to increase your sales by 70, 80% just by following up, but just by making that connection. It is so important.
I'm not sure how you would make sales without follow-up.
I'm not sure.
I mean, sure, it's possible. Anyways, so things to consider. We love you all.
So if you just jumped on, watch the replay, Successful Selling Series, how to master the follow-up.
Yeah.
If
you didn't watch the whole thing, then make sure you watch a repeat.
An important gift.
We love you all. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you soon.
See y'all.
Bye.
Thank you so much for watching this video. If you like our content and you want to see more, hit the subscribe button below. We'll be posting videos every single week.
And if you want to learn more about NLP or a certification program or even performance coaching, come join us on our website at yagertraining.com, and you can find the link in the description below. We hope to see you on the next video. Thank you.